Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Srinalini and I'm a product marketer of Zoho Sheet. And joining us today is Santosh and Naresh, who will be assisting with your questions throughout the webinar. If you have any queries, feel free to drop them in the Q&A pane and we'll make sure they're addressed promptly. We'll also run a few polls during the session to get your feedback. We'd love your participation in these polls, which will help us refine these webinars and make them more useful to you. And if you missed our previous sessions, you can watch the recordings on our webinar page. And in today's agenda, we'll see how you can create a detailed dashboard where you can derive insights on your employees' performance using the essential spreadsheet features that Zoho Sheet has with a live demo. Whether you run a business or manage the human resource department in a company, analyzing employee performance and recruitment cost is vital to achieving organizational goals. To prevent overhiring, ensure smooth onboarding for new hires, and maintain a healthy work environment for current employees, HRs must consistently monitor operations, optimize workflows, and make informed data-driven decisions. That's where our employee performance tracker in Zoho Sheet comes in. Here's what it helps you to achieve. Spreadsheets can be a versatile tool for handling different types of data. Whether you're managing your inventory, analyzing your sales reports, or your marketing campaigns, monitoring your financial data, analyzing your employees' performance, you can customize it as per your requirement. In today's topic, it can serve you as a complete data management tool that stores all employee performance data in one place, including KPIs, attendance, targets, and feedback. You can use built-in formulas to calculate performance scores, productivity rates, and trends over time, reducing manual effort and errors. You can also track specific metrics relevant to your organization. You can generate charts and graphs for quick visual insights into team and individual performance. And finally, you can use this data to identify high performers, training needs, or potential HR actions like promotions or role adjustments. Now, we'll see how you can use these features to build a dedicated dashboard to track your employees' performance. And as we build the dashboard, we'll see how these features will be put into use. Now let's move to the live demo. So this is a data set that we'll be having, and this table represents employee data from an organization showing various HR and performance related metrics. Here's a breakdown of each columns. In the employee name, we have the full name of the employee. In the department, the division within the organization the employee belongs to, such as marketing, IT, HR, finance, sales, and operations. The specific role or designation of the employee within the department. And this is the joining date of the employee. And this is the type of employment that the employee is. This is the percentage of days the employee was present at work over a given period. And here this is the numerical score, which is out of 100, evaluating the employee's performance. And this is the training hours or sessions that the employee has taken in. And this is the recruitment cost that has been spent on the employee. And it includes advertising, agency fees, onboarding, etc. And we have the employee satisfaction score, which is out of 100, representing how satisfied the employee is with their job, work environment, and more. And this is the annual salary of the employee. And here we have another small data set that shows the hiring process and what went into all the processes. So with this data, we will build a series of charts to understand the overall efficiency of the HR department. Let's go to the dashboard sheet. As you can see, we have built various charts to derive metrics to evaluate the efficiency of HR processes and analyze how employees are performing. Zoho Sheet provides different types of charts and customization options. So this allows us to build them as per our requirement and also analyze custom metrics according to the company's goals. We will go in detail about this as we start building this dashboard, and you can use this as a base to build one for your company and make any customizations further. And in the calculations sheet, we will be using it for a reference where some charts that we have used in the dashboard need some simple calculations. For that, we will be using this sheet. So this is the complete overview of this tracker, and now let's start creating it from scratch. Since we will be using the same data set, I will just click here and copy this to a new spreadsheet. This will save us time and we can invest more in building the charts. And now let's create a new sheet here and name it dashboard. And you can rename the overall spreadsheet here. We can simply say demo dashboard for HRs. And yes, now we can start creating it one by one. First, just for spacing requirements, I'll reduce the width of column A and also reduce the height of row 1 of row 2, sorry. And now I'll add the heading first. For that, I'll merge the cells and add the heading. We can have it as holistic view of employee performance tracker. And you can make the font size bigger. And you can add a color. And for dashboards, it's like advisable to hide the grid lines so that the charts will be easily visible. For that, you can go to the view menu and select grid lines and hide grid lines here. And now we can create the first set of metrics. That I'll just merge these two cells. This is for the headings. And for the calculations, we can use this and simply merge the cells. Now I will write the heading here. You can have total training hours. And you can apply a color. And we can repeat this same for the remaining cells. For that, just select this and go to Format Painter, double click on it and place your cursor here where you want to repeat this. Click Escape once you have finished doing this. Now we can add a border just for spacing requirements. And now let's add the headings over here. We'll have total recruitment cost. And here we'll have total salary. And here we can have the attendance rate. And here we can have the performance score. And here we'll have the employee satisfaction score. We can change the colors again. and yes. So the design level changes are done. Now we can use a formula to get the total training hours. For that, we'll simply use sum and go to the data sheet and select the training hours column, which is H. And for the recruitment cost, we'll again use sum and go to the data sheet. The recruitment cost is in I. And for salary, we'll again use the sum function. And we'll select column K. And for the attendance rate, we'll use an average function and select the attendance rate column, which is F. And similarly, we can use average function for performance score and select column G. And for the employee satisfaction score, it is again the average function. Once this is done, you can apply a layout, you can apply some alignment. You can align it in the middle. And for these, you can simply reduce the decimal points to 2 digits. And you can also change the font size. Yes. For the attendance rate, performance score, and employee satisfaction score, we can represent it using a chart. And for that, we'll simply open another sheet where we will name it as calculations. And we'll use the headers first. We'll include attendance rate. And we can say performance score here. And here it is employee satisfaction score. You can auto fit these columns. And now we can use the same formula that we have used in the dashboard sheet. Just simply copy paste it. And here we'll use 100 minus the previous cell. And we can use the fill right series to apply the same formula to the remaining cells. Once that is done, you can reduce the number of decimal digits to 2. So now let's use this data set and create a chart. Just go to insert chart here. And we see there is a recommended chart, which is the donut chart. And let's just click that. And now we'll move this to the dashboard sheet first. Just click on the three dots and select move, and then select the sheet here. Once it is done, we can make further customizations, that is the design level customizations. First, I will remove the chart title. And next, I will go to the legend, and I don't want the legend to be seen for this chart. So I'll simply click this drop down and select none. And I'd like to hide the data labels as well. So I'll simply click this drop down under data labels and select none. And then I'd like to have a transparent background for this chart. So I'll click under styles, I'll just toggle this transparency. And I'd like to also remove the borders for the series that we have. So you have apply to all series and simply select no border. And now try to insert this chart here. Now, I'd like to just show the maximum value of this attendance rate. So I'll simply hide the series 2 color That is, I'll match the series color to the same color that we have in the cells. So this way, only the dominant part will be shown, and you can increase the starting angle of first slice. You can either manually enter it. Yes. And you can also change the color of the series here. Now we have finished editing this chart, and I'll copy paste the same for the next two metrics as well. And go to series 1 and select the color, and we'll go to series 2 and select the color here and increase the starting angle. Yes, with that you can align the position. As you can see, once you start moving it, there'll be a red markers that will help you to align it with the remaining charts that you have in this row. Now let's do the same for the employee satisfaction score as well. And you can also use this drop down to increase the starting angle of first slice. Once that is done, you can place it over here, and you can reduce the size further. Yes, with this we have completed the first row of metrics, and you can increase the column width if you want the charts to fit in this canvas without a scroll. Now we'll simply adjust this as well. Yes. Now let's move to the second set of metrics that we have. For that, I'll first merge the cells to add the heading. And I'll apply a color, or I can simply add the heading for now. Now I'll use Format Painter again to replicate it to the subsequent cells. You can double click on this and simply click on the cells that you'd want to merge. And once that is done, you can click Escape. And here I'll add the next two titles. We can have training hours by department. And here we can have distribution of annual salaries. So for this, we have the employment type here in the data set. So simply select this row and then go to Insert Chart. And you can use a pie chart. Just go to pie chart and select this. And you see that the chart is generated. Now let's move this to the dashboard sheet. And we'll customize it further. I'd like to have the count of employment type. So I will go to data labels and I'll use show value here. And I'd like to have the legends displayed. So I'll simply select a position for the legend, and I'd like to have a background color. You can choose any color that you would like to have here. And also I'd like to remove the title of the chart since we already have a title placed. Once that is done, you can fit this over here. And you can add a color to this title. We've used a pie chart to represent the employment type because it doesn't have too many categories, and in a pie chart we can see the dominant value quickly. And now we will go to the training hours by department. For that, let's go to dataset, and I will use Zia to generate the chart automatically. Simply on the right pane, simply click Zia, and you can post your query here. We can say total training hours, and also once you start typing, if you like to select the field name, Zia displays that as well, and simply select training hours here, and it's by department, so I'll select the department field. And here, as you can see, a chart is developed, and you can select any one chart from this. We have a column, bar, or a pie chart. We'll again use a pie chart here. Simply click the plus icon here to insert the chart on your sheet, and now we can move it to the dashboard sheet. Once that is done, we can make further customizations. So I'd like to use a donut chart here instead of a pie chart, just because a donut chart is a modern version of a pie chart which helps us to calculate paths to total. So, and also we can have the total training hours, that is the overall value, in the center. So I'll simply change it to donut chart, and you can use the sum here in the aggregation and select training hours, and the axis is department. So as you can see, we have the chart converted into a donut chart. Now we'll customize it. We'll have the value here again under data labels, and I'll remove the chart title, and I'll add a background color. And I'll align it here, and I'll add a color to this title as well. With the help of the red markers, you can align it easily here in your canvas. And now let's go to the distribution of annual salaries. So this is where we get the count of employees in the same salary range. So for that, we'll go to data set and go to Zia again. And you can either select any one of the queries that is being generated here, or you can type it, histogram of annual salaries, and insert this chart on your dashboard and move it to the dashboard sheet. And now you get a count of employees in each salary range. Let's customize this quickly. We'll remove the title, hide the grid lines, and add a background color. And let's just reduce the size. And we'll add a color to the heading as well. So with this, we created the second row of metrics. Now let's go to the third set of metrics. Let's merge these cells and add a title. It's recruitment cost and attendance by department, and we can replicate this, and we'll add a title as employee onboarding count by month. For this, let's create a pivot table for this and then create a pivot chart. Now we'll go to the calculation sheet and click data here and select pivot table and create pivot table. Select the source, that is the table. You can simply select the entire table and choose location. You can choose this cell as the location where you'd want the pivot table. And now let's drag and drop each field. I'd like to have the department in the row field and the attendance rate and the recruitment cost as data. And if you'd want to change the sum to any other values, you can also do that. And now you can go to customize and add the pivot chart here, and you can move this to the dashboard. So yes, we have the pivot chart here, and now we can change this, customize it. I'd like to use a combo chart here, so I'll simply click the chart type, and from other charts I'll click combination chart, and I'd like to have a multiple axis for the vertical axis, so I'll go to the vertical axis section and check this box, multiple y-axis. And if you'd want to change the way the series looks, you can do that as well by going to series and select average of attendance rate. I'd like to have this chart type as a line chart, and I'd like to have the sum of recruitment cost as the column chart. And you can add the grid line, hide the grid lines here. And we also see that there is a horizontal axis title. You can remove that by just going to chart and axis titles and select horizontal axis title from the drop down and remove the title. And finally, you can add a background color. Yes. And once that is done, you can simply place it over here. And you can add a color to this title. And now we'll go to the employee onboarding count by month. For that, let's go to the data set. And for the employee onboarding count by month, we'd like to use the joining date column. Simply select this, go to insert chart. And as you can see, there are a few recommended charts. We can use one of them. We'll use this line chart and we'll move it to the dashboard sheet. And we'll customize this. And we can also change this here. So if you'd want to use a different data set where you'd want to know the employee onboarding count by month in a year, simply select the month by year here in the axis. And if you'd want to use any other version of an area line chart, then you can go to the chart type here and select spline, which is a smoother version. The lines will be smoother. And now we can also hide the grid lines. And if you'd want to have any other customizations, like if you'd want to have a marker that will help you to highlight the values, you can do that. And you can select the shape from here in the drop down. And if you'd want to have a border color for these markers, you can do that by selecting a color. And finally, you can add a background color to this chart. And here you can select a color for this title. So a line chart is used when you'd want to represent the increase or decrease or stable values over a period of time. So since the employee onboarding count varies month on month, we have used a line chart here. We can try to align this again. So this is the third set of metrics. And finally, we'll create last two charts and a border. We can merge this. We can add a border. And we can have the title as total training hours and average performance score by department. And we'll replicate this for the next cells. We'll have the hiring summary here. So for this, we'll again use a pivot chart. For that, let's go to the calculation sheet. And here, go to data, select pivot table, and select the source as the table. And choose the location here by clicking this cell. And now we'll have the department here in the row and the training hours here in the data and average performance score here in the data again. Now we'll go to the customize and we'll click add pivot chart and move this again to the dashboard. Now we can make customizations. You can remove the horizontal axis title again. And you can remove the grid lines. And you can add a background color. Yes, with that we have created this pivot chart. And now for the hiring summary, let's go to the data set that we have created for the summary from 2018 to 2023. Just select this and go to insert chart, and under other charts, select a weighted funnel. So this way it will show you a filtered way of how you have processed the hiring process. We'll simply insert this in the dashboard sheet. And you can customize it. I'd like to have the data labels inside the graph, and then I'd like to have a background color. And that's about it. We can make this a bit bigger. And you can add the color here. Yes. So this is the complete employee performance tracker that we have built. And now let's move to the recap. We hope you found all these charts easier to understand. So to give a quick recap of the tracker, first we need to input our data set in a sheet and format it. We've used pick list, modified the font sizes, and applied colors. These are all the basic formatting options that we have done to our data set. Then we've created a dashboard sheet with different types of charts to analyze different metrics using simple formulas and calculations. We've used a pie chart, donut, histogram, combination chart, pivot charts, and a weighted funnel to showcase different metrics with respect to employees and the HR operations of your company. And we've seen how you can generate charts with various ways. You can either use a Zia, or you can use the recommended charts that is offered, or you can simply create a chart from a blank cell. All you need to do is select the data range. And with this, you can create a complete tracker for any of your organization needs. So with this, we have come to the end of the demo. If you need any further assistance, you can reach out to us through multiple channels. Our phone lines are open 24/5 for support, and you can find the contact numbers on our website. We also offer a live chat option available 24/7. Just visit Zoho WorkDrive website and click on the chat icon to connect with our support team instantly. And if you prefer email, you can always reach us at our support email address for any queries or assistance you need. So thank you everyone for joining the session, and we hope you'll give this employee performance tracker a try for your organization, and let us know if you face anything, or if you want to add anything to this, you can always write to us.